Happy Sunday, December 3rd. I'm your host, Kimberly Perot, and welcome to Wasatch Weekends. On today's show, I was making a soup earlier this week that is quite delicious and will warm your soul. We also will talk about holiday gift ideas if you're looking for the perfect gift for your loved one. But in local news, Park City Mayor Nan Worrell has unveiled the details of a proposal that would move the Deer Valley Snow Park forward. The local council will be holding 2 public hearings on December 5th and 14th to discuss this proposal. But let's take a look at the weather before we get started.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
Now, I was in the kitchen earlier this week to mark the Native American Heritage Month, and we made a delicious Three Sisters soup. This is a quick and easy soup that's great to have on hand all winter long. Let's take a look. Welcome back. Kevin and I are in the TV8 Bar and Grill kitchen.
Yeah, we're here.
At least according to Kevin, we are. But today, it's November 30th, which is the end of the month, which we know for Thanksgiving, but it's also Native American Heritage Month. And I grew up in Virginia, so lots of history into the founding of our country. You know, I spent a lot of time in Jamestown. I've spent time in Fredericksburg in the DC area, and it's really cool to learn all about our history and where we've come from. So today, to honor that, we are making Three Sisters soup. Now, Kevin, have you heard of Three Sisters soup?
You know, I have. I've heard of Three Sisters soup. It's one of my favorites. They're not triplets.
They're not triplets. They're all very different.
Yeah. But it goes back centuries for like the Chickasaw and the Navajo Indian tribes. Mm-hmm. And the Three Sisters, I think, really talks about, I mean, we talk about a lot about sustainability right now and everything that we do. Well, back then, centuries and centuries ago, that sustainability was very, very big in the way that the Native Americans planted their gardens and harvested, and the way they prepared their meals, which is what the Three Sisters soup is all about.
It is, and you know, it's got 3 main ingredients. You've got beans, you have corn, and then squash, and those 3 were planted closely together, similar to like growing up with 3 sisters.
Right.
And they help each other grow and harvest. And these were the three of the main staples with several of the North American tribes. So yeah, it's a really easy, great winter soup to make. And
yeah, the corn aspect, you know, the corn stalks obviously grow up, and then the beans can wind around the corn. That assists the corn in sustaining any high winds so you don't lose your crop. And then the squash obviously has big leaves and spreads out over the ground, so that helps retain the moisture and the nutrients and everything in the soil. So again, you talk about soil sustainability, that's kind of how you do it. So if you really want to learn more about the sustainability, go to nativeseeds.org, and it'll kind of talk about how you can go about doing that if you're planting your own garden at home.
And it really just shows that you can truly live off the land.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and get started. So we have the 3 main ingredients, plus you can use any kind of broth, or if you don't even have broth at home, you can just use water and some bouillon cubes. But I like to use bone broth, as always, you know, getting some extra protein in whatever I do.
Right.
So what we're going to go ahead and do, we've got several different ingredients. We've got corn. I did dice up some onion, which to me, onion always gives soup a little bit more depth and added layer of flavor. Mm-hmm. And then any kind of white bean, and then a squash. So we've got butter beans, corn, and zucchini squash. So just super simple, but it really doesn't matter what you use, and you can kind of mix it up. But these are the basics and the staple of what you would need for this recipe. So you can do acorn squash, or I wouldn't recommend spaghetti squash, but you know, if you're in a pinch, why not?
Why not? Why not? Yeah, it didn't really, when you read about the history of it, and this soup is made around both summer and winter types of squash. And your beans and your corn are two items that also can be dried out, so they can last through the season.
It's great. So we're going to go ahead and get started. What we've done, actually, we want to soften our onion so it's a little bit easier to digest once it's in the soup. I added a little bit of olive oil to our pot here. We're going to go ahead and turn that on just so we can get our onions softened down to a little bit more translucent. Got some here, and then Kevin's working on dicing up our zucchini squash. So it's always fun to watch people cut in the kitchen. We'll see how this goes. So we're going to add that in there. I'm just saying, Kevin.
Yeah. Well.
You're the adventurous one over here. But we're going to go ahead and get that going, and then we're just letting everything kind of saute. And while Kevin dices up the zucchini, there's actually a very fun legend of the three sisters.
Oh, let's hear this.
So I don't know it in full depth, but I can tell you a bit about it. So there were three sisters who were hanging out in a field one day.
Right.
All very different, different sizes, heights, ages, all of those different things. And they were just hanging out, but they all encouraged each other and supported each other and whatnot. And so a little boy came across them in the field, and he got to know them, and they thought he was so nice. So one day, one sister disappears. The other two are so confused. They don't know where he is, where the one sister went. And then the second sister disappears. Finally, the little boy comes back to the field where these three sisters are, and he takes the third sister, and they all go back to his house. It turns out each sister thought he was so nice that they wanted to get to know his home and his environment. They stayed. They all decided they needed to cook for him, and they each contributed a different way. So that's how it also ties to the Three Sisters soup. But Kevin is nailing it.
That is just an amazing story. I'm just sitting here soaking that in.
You know, it's just nice. It's nice to know about familial values, community, you know, building up your tribe and supporting each other regardless of your differences. And I love that that's what we can talk about today. But we're going to go ahead and add our next ingredients. So bone broth chicken is what I like to use, but if you wanted to keep this vegetarian or vegan, obviously vegetable broth is the way to go. I'm not going to open this while I'm sitting here over the stove. Kevin, maybe you can do it because my hands are not strong enough right now.
All right. So we've got our bone broth.
Today, right?
Oh, it is a little difficult.
So
I need some pliers.
You do need some pliers.
Now, let me show you a trick in the kitchen.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Just cut a little hole in the top here. And we've got it.
Cutting the hole in the top.
It's called
and that's how you do it.
improvising.
So we're going to go ahead and just pour these onions into here because they've softened up a bit, and you don't want them to be caramelized or too crisp because you're just softening them so that they're delicious in the soup. Then I'm going to go ahead and pour my broth in here.
See how that works? That homemade slice in the top of your broth?
You know, modern
You're welcome.
technology,
And you're welcome.
You forget how to be resourceful at times. Not that we're learning all these different things. And then, honestly, this is the simplest thing. While he's chopping, I'm just going to continue to dump some more of the ingredients in, but we're going to throw our corn in here. So we've got that corn, and then we have butter beans, which I actually like to use cannellini beans, which are a little bit smaller and better bite sizes. But, you know, this is what I had in my pantry, so I'm just going to throw that in there.
There's no rules here.
There are no rules here. You just stir it up. We make sure that it is on and nice and high. And then you can add optional salt and pepper, which I obviously, you always have to add more salt than you think you do. My personal
Just a little
opinion.
bit.
I'll just add a little bit more salt. And then we have two other optional spices to add into it. I always say, you know, you don't want it too strong of a flavor, but you can do about 1/4 of a teaspoon of thyme or cumin. It just adds a little bit more of a hearty depth to the flavor.
Do we have time for cumin?
You know, we don't have to do the cumin. But if you don't like cumin, a lot of people don't actually like the flavor of cumin, but I do. I think it tastes delicious.
We're making it to suit you right now.
I love all of the spices in my pantry at home. I've got pretty much every spice you can imagine.
Okay.
So I just grabbed these two out of here, and then we're gonna go ahead and add in the zucchini as well once Kevin gets uses the knife again.
Yeah.
And you just add it in and you let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes, and till the vegetables are softened. You know, you don't want to be biting into a hard piece of zucchini. But if you want,
want it a little al dente. You don't want it soft.
A little. I agree. I cannot stand zucchini that's too soft in a soup, especially if you are going to like a restaurant and you're getting a minestrone. It's just Not great, but I love the Three Sisters soup because it's an easy, healthful winter staple. If you wanted to thicken up the broth, you could with a little arrowroot flour and some water and just make a paste. Mix that in there. You can use traditional flour if you wanted to as well. And
Some
then
arrowroot probably if you don't like the flour component.
Exactly.
But it's one of those, I think it's one of those recipes that you can kind of curb to your liking. If you wanted to have a little cabbage, if you wanted to put a little cheese in it, there's, again, no rules.
No
Kind
rules.
of suit your taste, but this is kind of the foundation of what the Three Sisters is all about.
You just have to have the three staples. So any kind of squash, any kind of bean, and any kind of corn, and that's it.
Pretty simple.
It is really simple. We're
And I
gonna
bet it freezes well too.
It definitely does. We're going to let this simmer. And I know for me on a busy weeknight, especially because we do the show and then we're out on the mountain, you want something warm. You can make it hearty if you threw in some potatoes or really whatever you wanted to. But this is your base of the Three Sisters soup.
Love it.
Love it. Well, happy Native American Heritage Month. We are honored to be able to talk about it here on the show. And I always love cooking with you in the kitchen, Kevin.
Yeah, and if you want to learn more about the sustainability and kind of some of that cooking with the different kind of seeds and the pairing up, go to that nativeseeds.org and it'll give you a little more information on how to do that.
And then in case you have no idea what to get your loved ones, we have a unique and fun toy that you can get for them. Gretchen had a conversation with Funko Pop about customized and special toys for your friends and family.
Welcome back to the show. I am very excited. I'm with Dave Bure, the Vice President of Funko, and I have Pop Yourself. How are you doing, Dave?
I'm good. How are you?
I am very excited. I am so stoked about this moment. Now, Dave, I have to tell you, I saw a couple of my friends sharing on Facebook, on Instagram, all about the popping yourself, and I had no idea. I thought, to be honest, I thought they were just special. Someone got a hold of them to do this, and then I learned about this whole world, and you guys so kindly let me pop myself. Can you tell us all about this?
Yeah, so at Funko, we're in the business of connecting fans to fandoms. It's what we're known for. But the number one thing that fans have asked for is how can myself or loved ones become a Funko Pop figure. So we're really excited that we were able to bring this to market just in time for the holiday. It's a very easy, intuitive experience. All you have to do is go to Funko.com. You're brought into a 3D builder where you can pick out your hairstyle, your skin tone, your fashion, your accessories, which are your interest points, whether you like to play sports or go fishing or cook. And then you're able to add a pet too, which we all know pets are a part of the family, and put your name on the box just like you have there. And it ships to you in about a week.
I am so excited, and Dave, I have to say, I am not the most tech savvy of human beings. This was so easy. I thought it might take me, to be honest, maybe 30 minutes. The whole doll, who actually looks like me and my dogs, I have to say, it took me maybe 3 minutes. It was wild, and I am so excited about the results. I don't know if you can see, but I have a little microphone. I'm wearing, very appropriately, a black outfit, which I wear black like today all the time. I have my little Gypsy and Bali. I have 2 Chihuahua mixes, rescue dogs. I could not be more pleased with this. It is so cute, and it turned out so well that our whole staff is talking about doing this for each one of us.
Yeah, it's great. We think it's not. I mean, just your reaction says it. I think we love that, and then obviously we think it makes an incredible gift. For every moment that needs a greeting card, you can now create a pop figure and give it. Certainly around gift giving time frame. So we're really excited about it.
Dave, I was going to ask you, because I obviously have been so thrilled with the way that mine turned out. Can you tell some of the people some of the different kind of things, characteristics that you can make your doll really look like yourself? Like for mine, I have big eyelashes, big eyes, and there's the eyelash situation. Or like, are there different hats, etc.?
Yeah, we try, ultimately we want people to see themselves in this brand. So that's really important to us. So when it comes to picking a hairstyle, we have 6 to 8 different colors depending on what the hairstyle is. I think collectively there's over 200 options to give an example. And then when it comes to picking out your fashion or your interest points, I think that those are always going to be areas that will continue to evolve, continue to add. We listen to fans on this. So as the assortment continues to build as we go forward, that's going to be key. We want people to see themselves. But as it stands today, there's a lot of options to choose from. them, and as we move into next year, there'll only be more.
I'm so excited you said that because, Dave, it was hard for me. I was like, I'm an avid skier, and I saw you had like the beanie, and I'm like, oh, that's me. But then I'm like, oh, I wanted to do the microphone, the dogs. There's a lot. And yours looks a lot like you, too, I must add. I like the one next to you. Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's perfect. This
Yeah.
is such an awesome gift. And I think holidays, perfection, birthdays, like you said, any reason to celebrate. How long does it usually take to receive one? Because I got mine really quickly.
Yeah, right now it's about a week. I mean, obviously, as we get closer to the holiday and Christmas, it's better to order sooner than later. But that's something that as we move into a full calendar year, if you have a birthday party next week, we want to make sure that this is a reliable gift that you can count on. So making sure our delivery times stay within that is really important to us. Obviously, in gift giving timeframes, there may have to be some flexibility in that, but that's important for us as we look at a total calendar year.
Well, and I love this gift especially because on the back of the box, it's really neat. It says, you are one of one, which makes you, because right when I got this, I knew it was coming, but I still felt really special. And it was a really cool moment to see everyone's like, little Gretchen is in the back room. And I'm like, excuse me. But it's true. It makes you feel really special about yourself and unique. And I think that's a beautiful gift to give someone, is to make them feel good about themselves. And it can be funny, you can put humor into it, you can make it serious. I just think it's such a cool gift.
Yeah, and I think people have so many different aspects to them. Like you're on TV now, but you love to ski, so there can be multiple versions, and it goes back to making sure we have the right choice around that. But there's multiple aspects of people to celebrate.
I love that you said that too, because in all of our lives, we are multiple different personalities and people, and I'm on TV and radio and I'm a skier. So I'm like, I think I might have to make 3. Is that weird if I have all these little Gretchens in my house? Whatever. I think it's cool.
We'd appreciate it, certainly from Funko.
Well, you're awesome. Thank you so much for this gift, and I'm so excited. I think I know what I'm going to be doing this year for friends and family alike. What is the easiest way to get going and get set up if you want to pop yourself?
Yeah, just go to Funko.com, and it's very easy to navigate into the Pop Yourself experience. You'll go through the build, check out, and again, the ship times are about a week.
Awesome. I really appreciate you, Dave. And you, if you can't tell, you made me very excited today.
Yeah.
Have a great one. And please check it out. Funko is amazing. Pop yourself. It is such a great gift. And keep it right here. We have more of the show to come.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
Thanks for joining us. So after 4 years with the University of Utah men's basketball program, center Brandon Carlson is gearing up for his last season as a Ute. His performance in the 2023-24 season could determine his future.
7-footer of Utah men's basketball, Brandon Carlson is the poster child for hard work pays off. He's improved every season since joining the program in 2019.
You know, he used to be really a quieter guy, and now you walk in that gym and he owns the gym. Like, he has a big-time voice, elite communication on and off the floor, and he knows exactly what is expected. He understands this league inside out and backwards, going into his 5th year.
The All-Pac-12 first-team selection from South Jordan, Utah, wants to turn pro next year. Not every collegiate basketball player is cut out to play in the NBA. However, Carlson knows what he needs to improve on for a chance.
A lot of them are talking with me saying I'm playing more, 4 offensively and defensively. In order to do that, I have to be able to guard in space, and so that's something I've been really focusing on over the summer, and feel like I've really developed, some good habits with that.
In the NBA, big men are required to change their coverage on defense to guards as well, which isn't traditional. Teammate of Carlson's, Raleigh Worcester, says he's seen the 7-footer improve in that area.
I think we've all noticed a big difference in how he can guard guards and switch onto quicker athletic guards and really be able to stay in front and contest jumpers.
If Carlson can keep improving steadily, we could be hearing his name called in the 2024 NBA draft.
University of Utah men's basketball program plays some tough games this season, so it'll be interesting to see how Carlson performs in those matchups. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
It was quite an exciting Sunday morning edition of Wasatch Weekends. If you are interested in helping move the Deer Valley Snow Park project forward, attend those hearings December 5th and 14th. Thank you to Gretchen with that fun gift idea, Funko Pop figurines. You want to get it for your friends and family. They will love it. Plus, if you're looking for a great recipe, we had one for you on today's show. So thanks for joining. I'm your host, Kimberly Perot, and I'll see you next time.